Alright, I'm going to be going over how to set up SMB scanning on a Windows 8 machine. The computer I'm demoing it on has a Windows 8 Pro 64-bit, and there's several different steps. If you've seen some of our other YouTube videos, the steps are pretty much the same, just getting to them it's a little different. So step one, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a username. And the easiest way of doing this is just from your main desktop, you're going to click on the File Explorer tab. And then you're going to left click on Computer, left click on Open Control Panel, and you're going to scroll down to User Accounts, and you're going to left click on User Accounts. You're going to left click on Manage Another Account. And then you're going to left click on Add a New User in PC Settings. Alright, this is where it differs between Windows 7 and Windows 8. Windows 8 is more of a email address based usernames, but you can add a local user. So that's what we're going to go through right now. We're going to click on the little plus sign here for Add a User. And this is where it's asking you for an email address. We're going to bypass this and set up a local account. I'm going to left click right here where it says sign in without a Microsoft account, and then we're going to click here on local account. And the username and password we're going to use is a standard username and password we use when we set up SMB scanning for all of our customers. The username we use is BizHub, and the password is exclamation point, capital P, lowercase a s s, w-o-r-d, exclamation point. And then we're going to type that in again. And again, it's exclamation point, capital P, lowercase a s s, w-o-r-d, exclamation point. And then it asks for a password hint, and it's required to put something in there. We typically just put the company name. That way when our customers see that, they know we added that user for their scanning. But you can enter in whatever you would like. Alright, now we're going to left click on Next, and then left click on Finish. Alright, that concludes setting up a user. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get back to our main desktop. So if you hit your Windows key on your keyboard and then click on Desktop, and that gets you back to your main desktop, and you can go ahead and close out of this window. Alright, in this step we're going to create a folder off the C drive. We typically call it My Scans. You can call it whatever you want, but we're just going to go through the settings that we normally do. After we create the folder, we're going to share it out, and we're going to give BizHub full rights to it. So to start that off, we're going to open up File Explorer again. Then left click on Computer, double left click on C drive, and then we're going to left click on New Folder. We're going to title this My Scans. Alright, and then we're going to click off of it, and then we're going to right click back on My Scans, and we're going to go to Share With, and we're going to click on BizHub. Yes, share this item. Alright, and we're going to right click on it again, and then we're going to go to Properties. We're going to go to Sharing and Advanced Sharing, and then we're going to left click on Permissions, and we're going to left click on Add, and then we're going to type in BizHub here, and then we're going to left click on OK. And then right here we need to give BizHub full control of the folder. Alright, now we need to left click on OK and left click on Close. And we're going to right click on My Scans again and go back up to Share With, and we're going to verify that BizHub was given read and write permissions. In some of the older versions like Vista, the only step you had to do for sharing was this one here. The beginning of Windows 7, this was the only one, and then when the new service pack came out, you had to change the permissions underneath the sharing tab, and now on 8 you have to do the same. So now we're going to left click on Share, and we're going to left click on Done. Alright. Alright, and that's it as far as setting up a folder and sharing it out. Another step that we do typically for our customers is right click on it and go to send to and send it to the desktop. That way it creates a shortcut on the desktop, makes it easier for them to get to it to find their files. Alright, let's go ahead and close out of this window here. Alright, now we've created our username, BizHub. We've shared out our folder, and I gave it BizHub full rights. The last step on the computer side to get everything ready to set up scanning is we're going to have to get the IP address and or host name of the PC you're working on. So in order to do that, you need to bring up command prompt, and on Windows 8 the easiest way to bring up the command prompt is to come over here to the side of your screen, and this little toolbar is going to come up here. If you go up to search, in the search bar for apps, you're just going to type in CMD. There it is right there. Go ahead and left click on that, and now we're going to type in ipconfig space / all, and then we're going to hit enter. Alright, this is going to give you a bunch of useless information for what you're doing, but if you just scroll through here and look through a lot of this, what you're going to be looking for is your host name and your primary IP address, depending on what machine you're setting it up on. Depends on what you're going to need. But right here, the host name. Here's the host name of my computer. And scroll down a little bit here, and here's the IP address of my computer. And you're going to want to write these down because in the next step, setting it up on the machine, you're going to need one or the other. Alright, and we can just leave this open off to the side. That way if you need to refer to it, but you can also write it down. Alright, at this point we've completed all of our steps on the computer side. So now what we need to do is log into the copier, and we're going to create a one-touch that directs your scan path to the folder that you shared out on your computer. So what we need to do now is we're going to open up a web browser, and the machine I'm going to demonstrate this on is a kind of an older Konica Minolta. It's a BizHub C550, but the web interface is for the most part the same. There are a few subtle differences, but it's pretty easy to figure out. Alright, so what we're going to do is type in the IP address of our copier, and mine is 192.168.1.194, and hit enter. Your IP address of your machine is probably not going to be that IP address. You can actually find it on the machine underneath the administrator mode, or you can find it underneath the print driver, underneath the port section. It will tell you the IP address there. Alright, so after we typed in the IP address and we've got our main page here, we're going to click on Store Address. Now we're going to left click on New Registration, left click on SMB, left click OK. Click on Name here, and this is just the name of your one-touch. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to put in my own name. I want it to show up underneath the ABC section of the index, and then I also want to check main. Alright, here where the host address is, we were talking about your host name or your IP address. Typically I'll do the IP address first, verify that everything's working, and then I'll go and try the host name. If you're going to put in the host name, you have to check this box here, and then you can type in the host name. If you're going to use the IP address, you just leave that unchecked and you type in the IP address here. And the IP address on my computer is this one right here. It's 192.168.1.63. So I'm going to type that in. The file path is my scans. User ID is BizHub. And password is ! capital P, lowercase a s s w o r d, ! And then go ahead and left click on OK. Alright, basically this is saying that I took too long to enter it in. Some of the machines have a shorter timeout than others. So I'm going to go ahead and left click on OK. Then I'll log back in. Click on store address. New registration. SMB. OK. The one-touch name again. Checkbox main. IP address. File path, my scans. User ID is BizHub. Password again is exclamation point, capital P, lowercase a, S, S, W, O, R, D, exclamation point. And left click OK again. There it is. Alright, now it's fast enough for the machine, and the one touch is set up. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And we can pretty much just close out of this web browser now, and we can close out of this. Go ahead and open up our folder for my scans. And now we're going to go over to the machine and send a test scan across, and everything should work properly. Alright, and that concludes my video today.